But we move on to our next story. Shein has taken accountability for selling the same design as a local fashion label. Now, although it's very uncommon to find similar designs at different stores and fast fashion brands, shoppers may not know who owns the intellectual property rights of the design. Now, the local fashion label FMM noticed that a couple of their designs were being copied and sold across Shein. And FMM took to their Insta stories to share their disappointment, as a couple of their designs were being sold for much cheaper prices on Shein. But after a few days, Shein took accountability.
So this is really amazing. FMM shared Shein's response, which stated, hello. Shein respects the intellectual property rights of designers and artists and others. We take issues related to originality seriously and continuously improve our protection mechanism for originality. We also require our suppliers to comply with this code of conduct, and they need to demonstrate that their products do not infringe the intellectual property rights of third parties. So if individual suppliers are found to be non-compliant, we will take immediate measures and we will ban individual suppliers who have repeatedly infringed, i.e. they're working with different suppliers who potentially have infringed. At present, we've removed the product you mentioned and investigated the relevant suppliers. Thanks for your feedback.
Now, the brand took responsibility for its supplier, which attempted to copy FMM's design, and the design will not be sold on the website anymore. And this is a great step from Shein and commendable. Now, of course, and this should also entice other fashion brands out there to not turn a blind eye to this issue and just, stray away from plagiarism of designs and ideas, because it's so much hard work that goes into it when designers put their heart, soul, blood, sweat, and tears into what they're creating, and then it's just plagiarized.
Especially if you're a designer with not a huge, you could just be starting your career. Exactly. And then to see your designs be used, which you probably potentially want to work with these bigger brands. Do you follow Diet Prada?
Yeah, I do.
So Diet Prada, in case you don't know, they have this amazing Instagram account where they call out the fashion community, usually bigger brands, for plagiarism, and they also share lots of other kind of zeitgeisty stories. But they're amazing because, insert famous brand here will come out with a new design and they'll be like, I think Balenciaga did that in 1986, and then they'll show you the archives and you'll be like, the very same. How do they? Because their knowledge of the industry is so amazing. But also, I think some of their stories. I saw once a designer had submitted some potential designs to Vans or a shoe brand. Her designs weren't accepted, and then 3 months later they used something like it. But these types of stories getting attention makes other designers be like, oh hey, I can actually call out the designer. Yes. I can call out the brands for reusing, and potentially they'll notice. And in this case, well done to Shein for being like, hands up, our supplier did this. I think it's great. And
the internet is like one big courtroom, you put something out there and people just they make their judgment. And then now with the cancel culture, it's brands have to be so aware that they don't cheat or replicate in a way that completely plagiarizes a design. And I think with creatives, it's so tricky. It's like with music and fashion, it's there is at some point okay, you can get inspired by certain things, and then at some point it's full-on plagiarism. It's you completely copy and paste, and like you said, that's happened to so many up and coming designers where big brands have seen it or taken the exact same thing and have given no credit to where they've taken inspiration.
Well, I think you've made two good points there, especially that it can also be a grey area. But also what you said about the internet being a courtroom is so true, because it may not matter what's right or wrong. It's sometimes if you have the public will decide. The public will make their vote. Speaking